Hi, today I'm going to explain you how to configure Palo to high availability. So actually we need firewall high availability or the Palo Alto firewall high availability because in order to prevent the single point of failure, because when it comes to a production network, actually if you are going to use one firewall, so then if that is going to be crashed, so then that is a single point of failure. So in that case, to prevent that situation, we can use two firewalls and we can enable high availability in the pan OS. So let me explain this. Let me get the whiteboard. Okay, when it comes to Palo Alto high availability, we have several options. Actually, we have one option is we have active deployments, active active deployments, and also we have active passive deployments. We have active passive deployments. So let me explain these two options. So active means actually both the files are active, so both the files are handling the traffic. But when it comes to active passive means the one firewall is handling the traffic, but in the case of that firewall goes down, so then the passive firewall is going to handle the traffic. So actually that is the mostly deployed topology within most of the networks. Uh, so in this case, actually we need to have several types of links. So let me explain those links. Actually we have one link called HA1. HA1 is called control link, and we have the second link type is HA2, that is called data link. Data link, that is uh, that is called data link. And third type is packet forward link or packet forwarding link actually, that is HA3. This is packet forwarding link, packet packet forwarding link. Sorry, forwarding, packet forwarding link. Okay, so when it comes to HA1, that is controlling. So using controlling, actually firewall exchange heartbeats, hellos, and sync the management plane routing, and also user information ID database synchronization, and also configuration synchronization. Because actually configuration synchronization means, let's say you are changing one firewall configuration, so then it should be actually I'm talking about mainly talking about active passive scenario, this scenario, because actually this is the mostly used scenario, active passive. So I'm talking about it. So then active passive scenario, actually when we change a configuration within the active firewall, that configuration change should be synced to the passive firewall. So using HA1 link or the control link, we can do that. uh, Actually, those are the main things that traverse through this HA1 link. And when it comes to so now we are done with the HA1 link. So then when it comes to HA2 link, actually that is data link. So data link means this, using this link actually active passive firewall synchronize their sessions. Because let's say in case of active firewall goes down, so all the active traffic is going to be handled by the passive firewall. So in that case, the all the sessions created should be replicated to the passive firewall, otherwise passive firewall cannot continue those sessions. So in that case, active firewall is always synchronizing all the active sessions to the passive firewall using HA2 or the data link. And that is the first thing. Second thing is actually when it comes to IPsec security association database, those associations also getting synchronized to the passive firewall using HA2 link. And also forwarding tables, when it comes to routing, forwarding tables also synchronizing, and also the up tables are synchronizing using HA2 link. So that is HA2 link. So those are the main thing happens through the HA2 link. And actually this HA3 link is related to active deployments. So actually HA3 link means, when it comes to active deployments, there is a requirement to forward certain traffic, actual traffic through this to the second active firewall, in order to maintain the symmetric routing. So in that case actually HA3 link is being used for that purpose. Okay, so now I think you got the basic idea about these uh, links that is being used for this pan OS high availability. So I think now we can go for the actual configuration. So let me go to the actual firewall. uh, so actually, where's my mouse? I can't see. Okay, it's here. Okay. Okay, so then let me get the firewall here. So actually we have two firewalls. This is, I think you can see this host name, that is PA01 and PA02. So actually my plan is, so let me get my whiteboard and let me get a new page, and let me tell you my plan, because actually I had to tell you some some other information. So that is, when it comes to HA1 and HA2, we have backup links as well. So let me draw the diagram here. Our topology, actually we are going to implement this active passive scenario. Active and active passive. This is our the topology, active passive. So here what we are going to do is, we have this the first firewall, or the PA01 here, and then here we have PA02. So that means we are deploying two firewalls. So actually we need to have control link, so that is HA1. I think I mentioned that HA1 is the control link. So using the control link, I'm revising you. Actually control link, we use we exchange hellos and heartbeats, and also routing information in management plane, and also user information database, user not user information, use ID database replication, and also we replicate uh, user database replication, and also configuration synchronization, and those are the things that we replicate using HA1 link. This is HA1 or the control link, and we have HA2 link. Actually using HA2 link, what we do is, actually we synchronize sessions, because actually active firewall should synchronize session to the passive firewall. In case of a active firewall goes down, the passive firewall should be able to continue the existing sessions. So in order to do that, passive firewall should have all the existing sessions replicated. So we use HA2 link for that purpose. And also when it comes to IPsec, we have security association database. So in order to continue IPsec traffic, we need to have security association database. So that is also going to be replicated to the passive firewall using HA2 link. And also we have forwarding tables. When it comes to routing, those things also should be replicated. And also ARP tables, address resolution protocol tables, should be replicated to the passive firewall using HA2 link. So that is the HA2 links. Actually here we are not talking about HA3, because that is totally for the active deployments. And here okay, this is active firewall, and let me put A, and this is passive firewall, I'm putting P. Okay, so then actually I told you I had to mention one extra thing. So that is, actually when it comes to these deployments, we have HA1 backup and HA2 backup links. So here we can have HA1 backup link, because in case of HA1 link failure, we need to have a backup. So we can use this HA1 backup. I'm putting HA1B, and also we have HA2 backup. I'm putting HA2B. Okay, so these are the links that we can use. But since I'm deploying this within the VMware workstation environment, actually I cannot showcase HA2 backup, but it's a simple thing, because the problem is, actually in workstation we have a limitation, some problem with adding more interfaces. So in that case, actually we can but we are not having any issues, because actually this is not a big thing. This is H2 backup, that is for backup purposes. but actually I can show you that HA1 link and also HA2 link and also HA1 backup. So I'm going to implement those three, but HA2 backup also normal link, but but because of that limitation I cannot showcase here. Okay, let me go back to my firewall. Yeah, okay, let me go to device tab. One moment. Uh, okay, here device tab, and then we had to go to, on your left side you can see high availability. Here in general tab we can go to setup, and we have to enable the HA and also group ID, because when it comes to active and passive firewall, we should put both the firewall into one group. So I'm putting just one, you can use whatever the number, and the mode is active passive, and enable config synchronization. And here this is important. I think it's better if I can highlight this. Here you can see this. Here we have peer HA1 IP address. So that is the IP address of the control link of the peer, actually, not my this firewall, the peer. So let's go back to the whiteboard, and let's put some IP information details here. Here what we can do is, let's say we are going to use let me draw these firewalls again and put the IP information, since this diagram is not that much clear. Let's say this is the active firewall. Actually I'm putting HA1 IP. Actually when it comes to HA1, we are normally using the management port for the HA1, so that is my Palo Alto recommendation, MGMT. So here my active firewall IP is the management IP is 192.168.1.59, and HA2. So let's put I'm sorry, HA1 backup, actually not HA2. So let me erase this HA1, and this is HA1 backup. HA1, let's say B. Let's put 10.0.1 1, and we need to have HA2. But you had to remember that when it comes to HA2, it's a layer, just a layer 2 link, and we do not need to put any IP address there. No IP here. So this is active firewall, and let me put the passive firewall details here, because I'm putting, so then it is somewhat easy for us to identify the details. This is passive firewall, so the HA1. So we are using management interface, MGMT. So the IP is 192.168.1.34, I guess. I'm sorry, 34. Okay, that is HA1 and HA1 backup. The IP, we have to put the same subnet as this. So then we are putting 10.0.1.2. So HA2, we do not want to have an IP there. Okay, so these are the IP information that we are going to use for this deployment. Okay, so then let me clear this. Here we are going to use peer HA1 IP address. So peer HA1 IP. So let me check my whiteboard. Because this is my active firewall. So then my peer HA1 IP means this IP, this one. So let me put it. I think it's better you just note down. Otherwise, sometimes you may get confused. 10.0.1.2. I'm sorry. Because that is the backup one. Let me go back. Here HA1. This is the one HA1. This is passive. So this is the peer. So HA1 management. So because the management interface we are using for the HA1, this is the IP, PS IP. 192.168.1.34. 192.168.1.34, and then backup peer, backup this one. backup peer HA1 IP address. So that means the peer's IP HA1 IP for the backup link. So let me get the IP here from this diagram. So this is the backup, actually this one, 10012. Okay, so let me put the IP 10012. Okay, now that's fine. So let me click OK. So then let me go to these links, control link HA, control link OHA1. So here I told you that when it comes to HA link, we are using the management interface. That is Palo recommendation. So we are keeping that. So then let me go to controlling HA1 backup. So here actually we need to have an interface configured, because actually we do not have any a dedicated HA ports for this VM series. Let me go to network and interfaces. Let me keep it somewhere. Okay, and let me go to, because actually I do not have any layer 3 interfaces configured, because this is a demonstration. So let me configure this first interface. Let me select HA. Okay, now we are fine. So actually we are not putting any IP addresses here, but those IPs are configured in this configuration. Actually we put, I think you can remember that here, because let me go here. So here, okay, so we are putting this is our HA1 backup, and here we are putting the IP address. So actually I think you can remember that we put mention the IP here, backup IP. So that is 10012. That is a peer, but here we are configuring the active firewall. So our backup HA1 backup is 10011. This IP 10011. So we are putting it here, 10011. I'm sorry, 10011. So that is our HA1 backup. So net mask we are putting 255.255.255.0. We are using a class C mask. And actually in this moment we do not need the gateway, because actually we are directly connecting these firewalls. So let me click OK. And then this is a data link, that is HA2. Let me select it. And here I need another port for this. So actually I had to configure another port, HA port. So let me select the port 1/2, and let me select the type HA. So then let me go back to my HA configurations, and let me open the data link or HA2, and let me select the interface. And here I don't want any IP address configured here, because actually I'm directly connecting these two interfaces of the firewall. So I'm using transport, that is Ethernet. Okay, let me click OK, because in this diagram also we didn't put any HA2 IPs here. See, we do not have any IPs. Okay, now we are fine with this configuration, because actually this moment we are not going to configure data link HA2 backup. That is also same as the previous the HA1 backup, not HA1, HA2 primary link. We have to select the interface, and but here we have to put IP. But in this moment we are not going to configure that. Okay, now we are done with this configuration. So let me go to dashboard, and here in the dashboard actually we can have a high availability widget, high availability. So let me commit it, because for the moment it says HA not enabled. Let me commit. So till it is getting committed, so let me go back to the this second firewall, or the passive firewall. So actually in this firewall also we have to, I have to show you something, some other configuration as well, but we'll configure the HA ports first, and let's get back to that configuration, because I need to explain certain things there. Okay, it's 99. Commit is successful. So let me go to this firewall. See, you can see now it's it is unknown. These HA1 port down, HA1 backup down, but our HA2 is up. But let me go here. Let me go to device tab and high availability, and let me go to this setup section, enable, and I have to put the same group ID, and active passive mode, and this enable config sync, and here peer HA1 IP address. So let me go back to my whiteboard. Here my peer means now I'm in the passive firewall, the peer. So in case of passive firewall, the peer is active firewall. My HA1 IP is 192.168.1.59. That is management port 192.168.1.59. And then backup PHA1 IP. So let me go back to whiteboard. This is the backup 10.0.11. uh, 10.0.11. Okay, that is also fine. So then let me go back to HA1 configuration. Here we are using a management port for the HA1, and we need to configure the HA1 backup. In order to do that, we have to configure HA port here. Let me select this HA and click OK, and let me go back to device and go back to HA1 backup. Let me select this port, and we need to put the IP address here. So let me check my IP here. Actually, this is passive firewall, so my backup IP is 10.0.12. I'm putting 10.0.12, and the net mask should be 255.255.255.0. Click OK, and this is my data link. So that is HA2. Let me open it. Here I do not need any interface. Here we can use Ethernet. Let me click OK. Let me go to this firewall and check something. I don't know whether I missed something. Actually, I configured HA port here, additional HA port. So let me go here. Device availability. One moment. Confusion. Data. I'm sorry. Here I had to I had to select the port. So then I had to configure this Ethernet, another Ethernet as HA port. Actually, I missed it. This should be HA. And let me click OK, and let me go back here, and I'm configuring data link. So I had to select the port, that is this port, because since we do not need any IP, so we are just keeping it like that. Okay, now that's fine. So let me commit. But after that, there's important thing I'll show you. Here, when it comes to this interface, we have active passive settings. Here we can put passive link state. We can put even shutdown auto means actually our the interfaces, passive firewall interfaces are physically up, but it is not, those are not processing traffic. Shutdown means they are physically shut down, but we can put it shutdown, no problem. And election setting, this is important. Here we have a device priority. Here we have 100. So let's say we want this firewall to be active firewall. So then we have to put this value lower value than the passive firewall. So then we put 100 here. So let me go back to this firewall, and I'm putting 120, because lower the value, higher the priority. So higher the priority means the firewall is active. This firewall is passive. So now here it's 100. So this firewall is 120. So that means this firewall is active firewall. This firewall is the passive firewall. Okay, let's wait for the commit. So now we are done with the configuration. So let me go back here and let me go to, okay, let me enable this widget. System availability. Okay, see, now the local firewall is passive, and this firewall should be the active. See, this is the active firewall. Yeah, actually, it says running configuration not synchronized. We can manually initiate the synchronization. Actually, other things are fine. App version match, because actually I forgot to tell you that when it comes to availability, we should run identical firewalls. Like pan noise should be matched, and also all the license should be a match, and also app versions, and all the updates should be a match, and also these global protect version should be a match, and those things should be identical in order to available this availability. So running configuration, let me sync to peer. It asks a confirmation. So we'll wait some time, and synchronization in progress. So let me go back to this firewall here. Let me refresh, and it's not synchronized yet. I think you got the idea, right? So here, let me refresh and check whether it has been confirmed. Not yet. So see, because actually when it comes to these configurations, I think you saw what I did. So initially I'd enable HA, and I put the group ID, and I enable, because previously this is by default enable config synchronization, and our mode is active passive. And here PHA1 IP address we put, and backup PHA1 IP address, and we select all the this is HA1 interface, that is control link, and we use management interface, and also this is a control link backup or the HA1 backup. We use some in band or the Ethernet 1/1 interface, for the backup. And here data link HA2 we use not we are using any we are not using any IP addresses. We are just using this interface, layer 2 interface. And now let me check whether our synchronization, it's done, synchronized. And let me refresh here. That is also synchronized. So we are totally done. So let me showcase one thing. One moment. Let me do certain change here. Let me add a rule here in active firewall. Let me put a rule called test TST, and I'm putting just a simple rule, any rule. Because before that, let me showcase my policies on the passive firewall. Here I do not have a rule other than these default rules. Let me commit. Let's wait for the commit operation. Because what I'm going to showcase is, this configuration change should be, synchronized to the second firewall. It's 99%. Okay, so let me go back here, refresh. See, now it has been synchronized. So we can see the policy here. And second thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down this firewall. Let me shut down this firewall. This is my the primary firewall. Let me log into the web interface. Okay, I'm putting the command here, request shutdown system. Before that, let me go back here. I think you can see now here this firewall this is active, and also here this firewall that is passive. So let me get the magnifier and show you if you can't see it. Okay, here see, this is my passive firewall, that is PS02, and this is my PS01, that is active. So let me go here. Actually, the names are head office firewall means PS01 and branch firewall means PS02, because actually I used this VM for the previous demonstration as well. I'm shutting down. So once this is shut down, so the second firewall should be active. So let me go back here. Let me refresh. See, now it's active. All of a sudden it's became active. So that is failover, because actually once the active firewall is down, so the second firewall is going to be active, and all the production traffic is going to be handled by second firewall. I think you got the idea. So what Palo to Pano is availability, and so then I think now you're totally fine. So I think that is fine. Okay. Thank you for time. And I think you learn things, how to configure Palo Alto Pano's availability, and also what are HA1 link and HA2 link, and what are the backups, and also active deployments and active passive deployment. Actually, in this case, I'm demonstrating only the active passive deployment, because that is the 99% of the deployments we are using active passive. Okay, thank you for time.